Before the first computer, before the first telescope, before humans measured time, our ancestors claimed the universe was speaking. And they said there was a code, a language older than writing itself, a language spoken by the gods, a language once spoken by humanity, a language preserved only by the Dibia, the ancient Igbo spiritual scientists. That language is AFA. AFA is not fortune-telling. AFA is not superstition. AFA is a divination-based knowledge system that uses mathematics, binary logic, story medicine, energy mapping, and ecological intelligence to reveal the destiny and alignment of a human being. Some Igbo spiritual scholars say all humans once spoke in AFA, not with the mouth, but with the spirit. They believed that every rock, river, ancestor, animal, and human was part of one vast data stream, the original internet. AFA wasn't just knowledge. AFA was communication. And here's where it gets strange. AFA uses 256 ordered pairs of 4-bit arrays, the exact structure used in modern computers, digital data, and the math of probability. Everything reduced into patterns of open and closed, light and shadow, yes and no.
So you're telling me, before Steve Jobs, before Silicon Valley, our ancestors were out here divining destiny using the same math your iPhone uses?
Yes, Milo, exactly that.
See? You gotta put some respect on the ancestors. They were running cosmic software while the rest of the world was still trying to figure out fire.
AFA functions like a neural algorithm. Every cast of the cowries generates a pattern, a bit string. This bit string corresponds to one of 256 archetypes, each with thousands of story variations. This mirrors digital computing, Boolean logic, predictive analytics, and even epigenetic memory patterns.
So you're saying AFA is a spiritual operating system?
Precisely. A stable, indigenous knowledge system, optimized over thousands of years.
AFA is rooted in the ancient Nri and Aka civilizations, the spiritual technologists of Igboland. These were scholars, priests, ecologists, astronomers, healers. They studied the earth, the sky, deep space, the underworld, time itself. And they mapped it into a language, the language of AFA. When I visited my father's village in Nigeria, I remember being told, do not build across that stream. Do not cut those trees. They said the spirit of the land lived there. They said it was sacred. Much later, I learned that AFA priests once divined that same land. The energy was protective, not myth, not fear, just information. The AFA language has a total vocabulary of 256 words, created from 16 foundational strings, each interpreted 16 ways. That structure is not random. It is mathematics. To perform AFA, the Dibia may use opale chains, cowries, palm nuts, sacred turtle shells. The cast creates a pattern, a coded sequence, like rolling a cosmic dice. There are 256 archetypes, but each archetype has hundreds, sometimes dozens, of story variations. In total, AFA contains over 4,000 spiritual psychological stories. Stories about human behavior, moral consequences, health, diet, destiny, weakness, spiritual danger, ancestral patterns, brokenness, restoration, alignment, purpose. AFA is ecological. Patterns on the ground reflect patterns in life, and the turtle shell, Beku, represents memory. Earth, forest, water, mineral, ancestral realms.
Modern studies confirm humans subconsciously detect electromagnetic fields, air pressure shifts, and ecological changes. What AFA encoded symbolically, science is only now measuring.
So you're telling me my grandma reading my vibe when I walked in the room, that was ancestral Wi-Fi?
Yes, Milo. Exactly.
Oh, then I'm spiritually broadband.
The ancients said destiny can be rewritten. AFA can reveal the pattern, but intention changes the outcome. Today we call that epigenetics. AFA demands truth. The ancient texts say, if the diviner lies, the AFA will kill him. This wasn't superstition. It was a coded moral system. My great-grandmother once told a story of a woman who refused to listen to the diviner's warning. She disturbed a sacred forest, and her life fell apart piece by piece. Not because the spirits were evil, but because she broke alignment. AFA wasn't about fear. It was about remembering who you are, who your spirit chose to be before you were born. Today, we rely on algorithms to predict our behavior. YouTube recommends your future. TikTok learns your psychology. AI predicts your choices before you make them. But thousands of years ago, AFA already did this.
So, we basically replaced spiritual technology with social media analytics?
One was designed for evolution, the other for engagement.
Exactly. AFA shows us what humanity forgot, that the universe is alive, responsive, intelligent, mathematical, and deeply personal. Maybe the next great technology is not new. Maybe it is ancient. AFA wasn't magic. AFA was memory. AFA was mathematics. AFA was spirit. The algorithm of the soul.